Okay, I just did an entire garden tour without pressing record. So I'm not going to go do the whole thing again, but I am going to show you the sunflowers. So the sunflowers like start over there. Oh, they don't. I'll take like a trip back, but so all of my specialty sunflowers are in behind the fence, and you can see those growing up over here. Um, and those are like the Velvet Queens and the Teddy Bear, and the Mammoth sunflowers. So I'm looking forward to seeing what those look like when they open. Okay, so my entire goal over here was to create a privacy fence. And this wall of leaves right here are beans. And my goal was, so what I did was I put sunflowers like in a row against like the fence. And then I put beans in front of them. And then what happens is they grow, they wrap around the sunflowers and stabilizing them. And then at some point, hi, grasshopper. See you, bud. Oh, you just went in my shirt. Stop it. Okay, so they make it up to the wall. This is cattle fence, and then this is obviously our fence. And they grow up and end up having like a wall of leaves. And at some point, so these blossoms are where green beans will grow. We're getting crops from like the bush part of it down here, but we're not getting crops from the vines yet. You can see so this guy stops right here, stops right there, and he vines up, and he'll end up going over here. Okay, so this is like the third or fourth one that I found that's doing this. Do you guys see I'm gonna focus it in on there. There's heads growing off of the sunflower, and they're like crooked in the arms here. Like this guy right here is a green bean that's stabilizing the sunflower, but like what? I've never seen that happen before. And it's not on all of them. Most of them, well, look, I didn't see this guy either. They just have like heads coming off of their heads. It's weird. Okay, so like all of this here will end up being beans. And those are just going right up. So my big giant guy is there. This is a 6-foot fence. And the reason that it like gradually comes lower is because we're at a pretty dramatic decline. So everywhere you see like that top of the fence is 6 feet. So these guys way up there that one's gotta be like at like almost 8 feet. These guys too. It's pretty crazy. Okay, I'm gonna go back and show you the ones that are around the front because they haven't opened yet, but they are super tall. I've never had that much success with these in the front before because I don't have anything to stabilize them with, and because the sun is not consistent here. You can see that their stalks aren't as thick here for them to like have weight, and it's because as far as like the sun coming in, like I mean it's super cloudy, but it only gets like a certain amount of time here. I explained in my original video that these are all squash, and they at a certain point during the season they get really scraggly looking like where they're planted, and that's a zinnia. I have no idea how it got there, but yay, I grew it. They start looking like really healthy out here when they these guys have the white ick on them. That's a spaghetti squash. But like they start looking healthy when they come out here and looking like junk over here. That's the same with the cucumbers too. Like the cucumbers do that. But zucchini plants, these were all planted indoors. Originally, the ones that are out here that I just saw you, not the ones that that are actually doing just as well around the side there, but the ones that I planted indoors have all gotten the ick, the white stuff. The zucchini is doing fantastic. And these are more like staying bushy and full for the entire season. So I think that we're going to do them up here next year to just just to be more aesthetically pleasing. But we're going to change some stuff around. My tomatoes look amazing. The bottoms of them is where I've always had issue, and they are like, they're gorgeous this year. I don't know what I did differently. This one I got as a tiny plant, and that was a gift from my neighbor. This one I grew from seed, and it needs to be stabilized. I didn't realize that it was so heavy right now, but they look so good underneath. I can't believe it. The peppers look really good. These are going to be purple. They look amazing. These are super heavy with mini bell peppers. My son loves bell peppers, and these are going to be a color too. I don't know what, but he's going to be super excited. So these over here, the reason that this looks so full still, being a squash plant, is because I planted it in the ground as opposed to it being planted inside, and it hasn't had the chance to like die off in that season yet. I didn't weed this year. No shame. I don't care that I didn't weed. I want to show you just the front real quick, because that was where I started my tour. And I didn't say this in the beginning, but I do tours so that my dad's girlfriend Ramya can see them, because she lives in Ohio. Okay, so this right here is my really sad attempt to have like a privacy wall for my porch area right here. These are all sunflowers. They have not done well because, again, it gets some morning sun, but very little sun afterwards. So I'm surprised that they've grown as much as they have, but that's obviously not going to be a solution. I'll have to come up with something else. So cabbage, never grown it before. I don't actually know what it's supposed to look like. I think that we're on track, just slowly. These are potato plants. As soon as they die, that's when it starts being time for them to be dug up. So they're on track there. So what I'm going to do is show you so this up here, this is what we're going to next year put on the top of this. So this is out of control. What's happened is, can you see all the vines up there? What's happened is it's grown up and then grown down and then grown back up again. And it's just crazy. This whole thing, Hunter likes it looking like a jungle, so I let it go. But it's crazy. Like this thing right here, I don't know what I planted, but it's doing great. But I mean, obviously this wasn't my goal for this. It was going to be much less overwhelming. So I know for next year we're going to do a bunch of different stuff. This is a paper moon. And then over here is a paper moon too. I don't know what this is. I planted it. It is not flowered. I'm afraid that I might have accidentally thought that this was a plant that was actually a weed. And just let it grow out of control. Hunter thinks it's really cool, so I'm letting it continue, but man, I'm over it. This is also a paper moon, and I planted these from seed, and I just didn't know what was going to happen with it, so I really wanted to see what it ended up as being. It looks like there's going to be a bunch of heads that look like this, and it's very delicate looking. And I like that a lot. I just had a really weird bug go in my ear. That was weird.